You know what I don't dig, Rosie? Every year we come on this podcast and we look back at the home opener and
Oh,
it's like, let's sit on our hands for the player intro. It's like number 38, Jay Rosehill. Crickets.
like that's
Probably
it.
accurate.
Number 34, Austin Matthews, crickets, and he just like kind of like walks onto the ice,
I
just
know.
like nah. Like, I'm sorry, but Montreal Canadiens kicked our ass in an intro. I mean, they've got this song that's kind of an inspiring song that's now become like their anthem, this Coldplay song. They've got a live band playing it. They come out of some kind of side doors with, a full string quartet, basically, or I guess that was a full symphony. And they come out and they stop at the middle, and then they stop, and then they look around just to kind of be like, check it out. And then they go saying, like, it was just wicked. It was theatrical. It had some things to it. Ours was exactly like game number 43. And aside from, you just announced the whole team, like there was no theatrics to it at all. It's like it's like the Maple Leafs production crew was like, our fans are not even going to be paying attention or cheering or doing anything other than doing some business deal underneath the platinum seats with some sushi and caviar or some bullshit. Who gives a rip? Just rattle off the names, get them on the blue line, and get the hell going with the game. It was so underwhelming that in today's day and age, especially when you're trying to like grow the game and like everything about the NFL and, you know, F1 and everything that's popular is just over the top theatrics production, just awesome stuff. They're so good at doing that these days that the Toronto Maple Leafs, like, you're a monster, man, and you can't put on a better intro to your season, like a pretty exciting season where there's lots to be pumped about. You can't do better than that. That was fucking embarrassing, and no one was into it, and that building sucks. It's just things got to change, but there's just no way they're gonna. I don't know. It was underwhelming and disappointing.
It was weak ass for sure. Max sends us a super chat. Thanks for starting us off. A good friend of the podcast, Max. Leaf tickets are too expensive to have real fans because
Well,
the real fans, as they say on social media, are always at home.
yeah, hey, I get it. I tweeted something, and holy shit, did people want to comment? I don't think I've ever had so many comments on a tweet, and it was overwhelming and unanimous that the real fans are at home, and nobody in that barn that. But it's like, why? I guess they're all suits, and it's like a business thing, and it's a status thing. But why can't people with money be, why can't they cheer just because you have a bunch of money and it's expensive to go to the game? You can't be loud. It's kind of annoying. I guess it's more of a blue collar, take your shirt off and swing it over your head type of thing, where those people are at home doing their thing. And Lord knows that this Leafs nation is monstrous and passionate. And oh, we know as well as anybody that it's the passion around that team is so strong. It's as much as any team in the world, yet the people in that building just can't seem to bring themselves to cheer. And people's comments, the Raptors games are loud. It's not a building, it's not an acoustics thing. It is the people that go to those games just don't seem to want to go crazy. And yes, it's too expensive for the average fan to go to. I just don't see why people who have a few extra bucks in their pocket can't be loud as well. It's very disappointing for a franchise of this caliber to be that underwhelming on opening night with a really, exciting season ahead of them. I was annoyed.
Yeah, I was bewildered. I was embarrassed, quite frankly, to be a Maple Leafs fan. But I think the one thing people have pride in the organization, they're like, oh, it's the acoustics, it's this, it's that. I don't buy that. You just mentioned the Toronto Raptors. I've been to a Raptors game, man. It's one of the best barns in the league to watch an NBA game. So we see it in the NBA. Why can't we see it with the NHL? It's the same building. David M. writes in, it was actually loud on Saturday compared to a lot of games. I have seasons. It wasn't as bad as you guys probably heard it on the TV. So maybe it's Hockey Night in Canada's fault, Rosie.
It's good to hear it was loud. I mean, when I go to games, there's there is an electricity to it. There is an aura about it. Like I know you're tired and bored of going to games and you're not
Yeah.
that interested, but I mean, I didn't go to a ton of them growing up. I didn't went to none. I got to play there, and then when I go back, it's probably reminiscent of feelings I used to have while being in that building. But it's neat going to a building. I like being in the rink. The building, the atmospheres can be good. I've
Mhm.
felt it be good, but that for an opening night, I just thought more would happen. And yeah, I guess if people in the building said it was better than it looked, but you look at all the other rinks and you can feel, I mean, you can feel the energy in the crowd and you can hear the noise. It's kind of hard to hide. And I just thought it was super underwhelming to the point where the Leafs didn't even try to make it special. They literally had some little lights going on the ice, and here's Simone Benoit. All right. Here's a fucking Austin Matthews. Okay, let's drop the puck. It was just like, fuck it, let's just. No one's gonna. I don't know. It was underwhelming and disappointing. Whatever. Not the end of the world.
You know what's bad because it's not the first time this man has piped up, but Joe Bowen, the legendary play-by-play voice of the Leafs, had a really good tweet I felt on Saturday night. You see it on your screen. When I win the Powerball lottery and have enough money to buy the Leafs, 3 immediate changes: goal horn replaced with a trained steam whistle, current organ replaced with a pipe organ, and cattle prods under lower bowl seats. You get 5 seconds to get up and cheer, or boom.
Joey boy. I like it. It's not the first time he's been vocal about the building
Yeah.
being quiet, man. So, I mean, a guy that's been there a million times and knows the difference between quiet and loud and has seen it loud. And if he's openly expressing that it's disappointing, I mean, there's something going on. But I don't know. I just don't get why. I mean, tickets are expensive to all. Do they have the most expensive tickets in the league by far, or no? Like, is it not expensive to go watch the Habs play opening night? It's not conducive to the Maple Leafs to say the barn's quiet because the tickets are too expensive. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, why is that a correlation to being extremely quiet?
Yeah.
I think I think it should still be able to be loud and passionate and have people who you spend a lot of money. Aren't you really jacked up to go and it's a special event, or are they all just complete Bay Street dickheads who just barely even want to be there? I don't know.
It's
Sucks
just
though.
one of those things, like, I wasn't in the building, and maybe those of you in the chat who were, like, even put up a sign on the big screen, "Make some noise. We're about to introduce the team for 24-25." Like, it seems like they don't even give them that instruction, and maybe you have to dumb it down that much where it's like, "Hey, get on your feet, make some noise." Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.